Hello, this is Chantel, your therapist. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the difference between a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship. So, in general, when we think about relationships, we think about relationships between mother and father, boyfriend and girlfriend, mom and children, dad and children. So it's just any type of relationship where it's interaction between you and another person. Okay, so that's when I say relationships, that's what I mean. So your interactions between someone that you're close with, you care about, or just somebody that you have to be in physical contact with. It could be a work relationship, your relationship with your boss, your relationship with your coworkers. Okay, so there's a lot of talk about, oh, this person is toxic or toxic relationships, and it's truth to that. And the toxicity comes in forms of the opposite of a good and healthy relationship. So when you think about relationships, the skills that you typically look at for a good, healthy, non-toxic relationship is good communication, trust, respect, honesty, and like contributing equally to the relationship where one person's not doing more, the other person's doing less. So equal reciprocity is what I call that. So those are the skills that you can use to maintain a healthy relationship. So what I'm going to show you is we have this wheel called the equality wheel. And the equality wheel shows the difference between a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship. So here it is, the healthy relationship wheel. The equality wheel shows the qualities of a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship should be one of joy, where we can show and feel valued, supported, and respected. It should not be a place of sadness, fear, nor stress. There's no power control over the other, and there should instead be equality. This applies for all types of relationships, not only romantic ones. So here we go. Here's the wheel. We have intimacy, respecting your own and your partner's boundaries. Boundaries is very important. Respecting privacy and being faithful. So this is talking about intimate relationship, like a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, and wife. So in this situation, respecting boundaries, if a person is not in a mood to have sexual activity, for example, you got to respect that and be, just be faithful. Don't want to go, I'm going to cheat on you if you don't want to, have sex with me tonight, or not trying to force sex where it could be rape, even though it's within a relationship. So that's a healthy relationship. You respect the intimacy, you respect the boundary, you respect privacy, and respect the fact of if your spouse doesn't want to engage in sexual activity. Physical affection. So respecting each other's right to say no and asking before acting, holding hands, kissing, and hugging. So physical affection. And again, this is some parts of it is sexual. If somebody say no to sex, you gotta respect that. Somebody don't want to do it, they don't want to do it, But also showing affection. Affection is shown like by holding hands, kissing, hugging. So being affectionate towards your partner, because it's comforting, it's loving. Open communication, being able to express your feelings or opinions, and knowing it's okay to disagree, saying what you mean. So when in a relationship, you're not going to always agree 100%. That's any type of relationship. Okay. You might not agree with, the mom and son situation. You might not agree with his choice in girlfriends, or you might not agree with his opinion on a certain subject that you feel strongly in, but you can like just be open to is what it is and just agree to disagree. Okay. So even though you don't agree with something, I mean, you have to be irate, argue, curse them out, or force somebody to be or act the way you want them to act. In a family relationship, when you think about mother and children, father and children, whatever, is that you have to be able to maintain that openness. With children, as a parent, you want them to be able to come to you and talk to you about everything. And I know as a parent, it's hard to receive, depending on what they're saying, especially since as an adult, we know more through our life experience. You might not want your child to be subjected to whatever the world's going to offer based on how they're thinking at the time, but you can offer timely advice, but just be open so that your child could want to come to you and talk about the things that's on their chest, on their mind, instead of like hiding it and trying to deal with things on their own. And as far as in a relationship with open communication, is being able to vent what you like, what you dislike, with your spouse, with your partner, or things that you want to do that maybe they disagree with, but find a way to make it work. You know what I'm saying? You find a way to make it work for both of you. Like a relationship is never 100% your way, is never 100% the other person's way. It's 50-50 with both partners. Okay, so it's going to be compromise. Learn how to compromise. All right, fairness negotiation, working to find solutions that are agreeable to both, accepting change and willing to compromise. Like what we were just saying, Fairness negotiation. So even though you communicate one thing and it's not exactly what you want, it's not exactly what the other person wants, but you find a way to negotiate it and make it fair for all parties involved, okay? Making decisions together, do things for each other that you both enjoy, giving as much as you receive, so shared responsibilities. So in this sense, I think about like, we can think about mother and child situation. So making time to do things together as a family, whether that's cooking dinner together, going to a movie, going for a walk together, to a park, do stuff where you can spend that quality time where it's not like parent is directing or a child having to receive direction, where it's like this equal ground where you can just express love and just, and be with each other in a moment. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe have conversations. Sometimes people do family meetings and it's discussed, like they put stuff on the table and like vote on it or look at what's the best possible way to handle it and look at all the ways this could work, all the ways that it couldn't work, and then come to some type of conclusion. The next one is respect. Respecting your partner's opinion, even if it differs from yours, and listen to their points of view. So respect, that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Not being irate, not saying that's a stupid idea. I don't know why you want to do this. Like, okay, well, I could see how you think that would work because of this. Well, what about this? Just throwing stuff out there, but just respecting each other. So don't disregard or diminish what the other person thinks. Try to understand it from their point of view. And then, acknowledge what you understand about it, and then like you can throw some other suggestions out there. So respect is like, just because let's say the person is right about what they're saying, but the other person's viewpoint is not as evolved, like correct, instead of just throwing it under the bus and say that's so stupid, be like, okay, like you can ask questions. What make you think that such and such would be a good idea to do this, or what makes you think that, and like hear them out. And then once you understand the person, okay, I can understand that, so I respect your viewpoint with that, but to me it just seems like it better go this way, and then you weigh the pros and cons, and then you go to the best possible option. Again, it's going to be give and take. It's not going to be 100% your way, not 100% the other person's way. And just so you know, like when we talk about romantic relationships, with romantic relationships, it starts in childhood, and that starts with how your relationship is with your parents. With boys, it's how the relationship is with their mother, and then with girls, sometimes how the relationship is with their father. So learning how to get those relationships correct in childhood helps to hone your skills and make you better in relationships going in the future with your future spouse. All right, then we have trust and support. Wanting the best for your partner and being there emotionally and physically, trusting them when apart. So just, don't want to wish bad on somebody. Honesty and responsibility, admitting when you're wrong, keeping your word, and not making excuses for you or your partner. So when you are wrong, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I guess I was wrong about that. Instead of like trying to like, oh, well, it was your fault that I said this anyway. But, instead of blaming, just like admitting it, that's half the battle. Sometimes when we don't admit stuff, you go down a whole nother rabbit hole because you have to keep up with whatever it is you're trying to like keep up with to make it seem right on your side. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. We're human. We're not going to be right all the time. No one's right all the time. But admitting you're wrong and not making excuses for why you said what you said, okay? And that's it. So that is the equality wheel for a healthy relationship. Now, for the unhealthy relationship, the power and control wheel is what they call it. So statistics show abusive partners. The power and control wheel shows statistics an abusive partner exerts over, I don't know why I can't read. The power and control wheel shows tactics, because I'm saying statistics. Why am I saying statistics? Tactics an abusive partner exerts over the other to keep the individual as the victim inside of the relationship. The wheel can serve as a helpful tool to understand the different patterns and actions that abusive partners use in order to gain control and dominance over their partner. This is why it's called power and control wheel. So we had the healthy wheel up here, which is the healthy relationship equality wheel. So it shows qualities of a healthy relationships with all these different categories. And here's an unhealthy relationship wheel, power and control wheel. So let's see. So intimidation, let me just see if this matches up. So let me see, intimidation, intimacy, physical affection. Yep. So intimidation will go where intimacy would be on the healthy relationship wheel. So intimidation says talking down, threatening, using loud voices, looks for an action to create fear, destroying and showing weapons. So it's the opposite of intimacy is intimidation on the power wheel. So just threatening, making threats, loud voices, using some kind of way to create fear in the situation. Physical abuse, I think, aligns with physical affection. So it's the opposite of physical affection, physical abuse, Using violence like hitting, grabbing, slapping, shoving, kicking, and punching. Okay. And then sexual abuse. Okay, I don't know if this is exactly the opposite, but sexual abuse, threatening in order to have sex or pressuring after you say no. So somebody say, no, I don't want to have sex, and the person keep pressuring or threatening, if you don't have sex with me, I'm gonna go cheat on you, that type thing. Minimalization and blame, not accepting responsibility for their actions, blaming you for the abuse and acting like it's okay. So when somebody is wrong, you're not admitting that you're wrong, and then instead of accepting your responsibility and what you did for stuff, you blame the other person. So you minimalizing your fault in it and blame the other person because you don't want to take responsibility. You want to feel your emotion or get in contact with that to get to the truth of what's really the situation. So it's minimalization and blame. Making threats to hurt you, threatening to commit suicide or leave. So some people make threats, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna kill myself, or both. I'm gonna kill you and kill myself. And there have been cases where people kill themselves and then kill their spouse because they're jealous, they don't want this, they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But they're in their emotions, because we talked about that emotional brain, that reptilian brain, that part of the brain that fight or flight kicks in, and that's where they're operating from. You know what I'm saying? Domination, making all the decisions, controlling who you see and how they spend their time, treating you like a servant. So domination, I think, does match up with let's see, shared responsibility. I think it's the opposite of shared responsibility, because shared responsibility is making decisions together, doing things for each other. You both enjoy giving much, giving as much as you give. So when you look at domination, the person make all the decisions. You don't got no say in nothing that this is how it is and that's it. No, having people buy into the ideas of what you want is better than forcing somebody to do it, is what I'm saying. So, whew, so you don't want to be treated like a servant. You want to feel like you have a voice. You want to feel like you can speak up, and it makes people either, yeah, you want to be a speak up. You don't want to be like passive, or sometimes when people be passive so long, they become passive aggressive. So they be aggressive, but in like a passive type of way. It's not real direct, but it still is. And then that becomes a form of abuse, okay? Humiliation, constant criticism and putting you down, calling you names, embarrassing you, and making you feel guilty, okay? So just, make somebody feel like they're not good enough. Somebody always criticizing you. You could do, you should have did this better. You so stupid. All, like that kind of thing. That's humiliating a person. A lot of times people do it in person too. Like in person, like in public, I mean. Possessiveness. Excusing jealousy for love. I just said that or did that because it's really because I just love you so much and I don't want this to happen to you. Controlling who you see, how you dress, think, and act, accusing you of cheating. Okay. And then I think we said intimidation, talking down, threatening, using a loud voice, looks, and acts to create fear, destroying, showing weapons. So yeah, we didn't use that. So intimidate a person to make them feel scared. So see the difference between the power and control wheel and then with the equality wheel? It's a complete difference. So I want y'all to kind of look at those two wheels, and I'll send like the worksheets and to see, am I more toxic, the power and control, or am I more healthy in how I am in my relationship with my family, my spouse, people I work with? Okay. All right. And let me know what you think about this. Thank you.